Good morning, Alison Mead from Silicon Bullet here with another top bookkeeping tip. So I've been helping somebody this week that has recently moved from using spreadsheets for doing their VAT returns to using Xero, and I was helping them get the last quarter's invoices and receipts in and doing all their bank reconciliations. And what I noticed was they got very mixed up as to what VAT codes to use for transactions. So I thought I'd do a quick video just to explain the difference between the basic VAT codes. So this only applies if you are a VAT registered business yourself. If you are not a VAT registered business, then you would enter everything into Xero or Sage using no VAT and just put the whole amount into the net column of whatever you're being invoiced. So if you're invoiced £100 plus VAT, £120, and you aren't VAT registered, you would put everything into £120 in the net column. You would use no VAT T9 in Sage, no VAT in Xero, and you would put nothing in the VAT column. If you are a VAT registered business and you've got expenses that you are claiming for, or purchase invoices that you're putting in, then it's quite straightforward. If it's 20% VAT, in Sage that's T1, in Xero that would be 20% VAT on expenses. But what do you do in the situations where there is no VAT on the invoice? This might be no VAT for a number of different reasons. So if we start off with something like postage that doesn't have VAT on it, something that you've paid for delivery at the post office, then with that, that's an exempt transaction. So in Sage that's T2, and in Xero it is an exempt expense. Now also, you may well be supplied by people who are not VAT registered themselves, so they've not charged you VAT. And the mistake that my client had made is that she had put those down as being a no VAT expense in Xero or a T9 in Sage. Now, to tell you a bit in the background what the accounts packages do, if something has got a T9 or a no VAT, what it will do is just put the whole amount of the transaction into to the expense code that you have chosen, and on the VAT return nothing will appear at all. There will be no entry for that figure on your VAT return. But if you are purchasing something and it's from a non-VATable supplier, then you still want to appear, the total of what you purchased needs to appear in box 7 of your VAT return, because it's still a business cost that you have brought in, and you still need to report it to the HMRC as a purchase. So in that case, what you need to do is either use your Xero rated, which is T0 in Sage, or you need to use your exempt expenses, which is T2 in Sage. What these will do will put the net cost of the purchases into the VAT return in box 7, but it won't allow anything to appear in the VAT box. There is another method that I have heard that people use recently. If you are buying something from a supplier that is not VAT registered, is that they still, in Sage they still use tax code T1, but what they do is they edit the net column to have the whole amount. So in my example before, that'd be £120, and they would put naught in the VAT column, but they would still use tax code T1. Are you following me? You might need to be making notes. So the very basic thing that you need to remember is, if you are purchasing something that would normally be VATable, if somebody was selling you something, buying a service, buying a product, or anything like that, then you still need the value of the purchase to go on your VAT return. So you need to use the Xero rated or the exempt expenses options. I wouldn't stress too much about which one you use. At the moment, it doesn't make any difference to how it's treated on the VAT return. They just get reported in different totals. So choose the one that makes sense to you and stick with it. Some people use Xero rated, some use exempt. Pick one, use it, and stick to it. And if there's anything that isn't involving a purchase, so it might be a bank transfer, it might be wages, it might be something even like insurance, although some people include that on the VAT return, and some people don't. It depends on the accountant. But anything that involves a bank transfer, wages, money changing hands, loans, anything like that, they are the ones that you would do no VAT, because you're not actually buying anything, you're not buying goods or service, you're just recording money changing hands. So those ones are the ones that would be T9 in Sage, or they would be no VAT. Does that make it any clearer? Am I confused you even more? If you're confused, then what you can arrange is a bespoke one-to-one bookkeeping session where I can log into your accounts and go through the ones that you have a problem with yourself. It doesn't cost much. We can have a chat on the phone, or I can remotely link into your account system and look over your shoulder and help you get your accounts right. Because at the moment, with Making Tax Digital, we're only sending the values in the 9 boxes off to the VAT office, but I know they are looking to change things so that all the transactions that you've been entered, all the detail, will eventually, when they get the system sorted, be submitted to the VAT office. So you need to start making sure that you're getting these things right. So it's Alison Mead from Silicon Bullet. You can subscribe to my YouTube channel, do the little bell so that you will get informed next time I upload an invoice, or look at www.siliconbullet.com, can't even say the name of my own company, and have a look there and get in touch. Thanks very much. Bye.